Today's story is Animals in Flight by Steve Jenkins and Robin Page. Imagine being able to fly, soaring, swooping, diving, or even hovering. So many animals are able to do what we can only dream about. How did they do it? When and why did they learn to take to the air? The barn swallow is a fast and graceful flyer, and it spends up to 18 hours a day in the air. Insects were the very first flying animals. The ancient dragonfly lived almost 350 million years ago. Larger than any insect alive today, in its wings today it measures 2.5 feet across. Whoa. How did insects begin to fly? No one knows for sure. Some insects have had flaps on their bodies that they use to warm themselves in the sun, or they may have started their lives in the water and had fins for swimming. When the insects jumped to avoid danger, some were able to glide to safety with the help of these fins or flaps. After a few million years, most insects had developed wings, and this had spread to all parts of Earth. One of these insects, the ancient cockroach, was 1.5 feet long. Then, about 250 million years ago, small dinosaurs began to fly. The first flying reptiles were small animals that were related to the dinosaurs and lived in trees. Eventually, some of them became quite large. The pterodon, which lived 175 million years ago, had a 17-foot wingspan. It's as long as a car. The Archaeopteryx, which lived 150 million years ago, was the first true bird. It had feathered wings and scaly skin, a lot like a reptile's. Now, the largest flying reptiles was the Quetzalcoatlus. Its wings were 40 feet across, and this is the modern day bald eagle, for comparison, which is a wingspan of about 7 feet. Flying helps animals escape danger, find and catch food, and move from place to place. A robin uses flight to escape danger. It may also fly to catch insects, to reach seeds or fruit that other animals can't get, or to find a safe spot to build its nest for its young. The barn owl's wings are covered with soft feathers that make no sound as the owl swoops down silently on its unsuspecting prey, the mouse. Different animals have different kinds of wings, but they all do the same thing of creating lift. A reptile wing, an insect wing, a bird wing, and a bat wing. Now, lift is the main force that is used to get animals up and into the air. All wings, animal or man-made, create lift the same way. The shape of the wing causes the air moving over or above to travel faster than the air passing below. And as the air moves faster, it presses and reduces the pressure around it. The result is higher air pressure beneath the wing, and that pushes upward, lifting the wing and whatever's using that wing to fly up into the air. All flying animals, past and present, have wings. Now, animals use their wings in different ways. Some can hover. Most insects can fly like hummingbirds fly. And when the hummingbird wants to land on a ceiling or a housefly wants to do the same, it hovers right side up, lifts its front legs until its feet touch the surface, and then it swings its body around so it is now upside down. The hummingbird is the only bird that can hover or fly in place. Hummingbirds can also fly upside down even backwards. Wow. Ooh, they can also go sideways. The hummingbird wings can act as a helicopter blades, pushing air down or sideways, and this is how hummingbirds can fly in any direction. Others can dive, soar, or turn, even do loops in the air. Ducks often travel in a V formation. Except for the leader, each duck is partially pulled along by the air currents created by the bird that flies behind it. This takes more work to fly at the front of the V, so the ducks all take turns. Soaring birds like the vulture ride updrafts or rising currents of warm air called thermals. These birds may be able to stay aloft for hours without even flapping their wings, which are large for their body, so it makes it easy to stay in flight. Bats have very flexible wings that allow them to change direction quickly. Most bats feed on flying insects, so they have to be able to be acrobatic flyers. They can even fly upside down, spin, or turn loops in the air. Birds use more than just their wings to fly. In fact, their whole body is built for flight. The feathers, light and strong, create large wind surfaces to push against in the air. They also keep the birds warm and help them conserve energy. They also have hollow bones, and this keeps the bird's body light. They have strong muscles, this is what they use to power the wings, and they have streamlined bodies to move easily through the air with less wind resistance. Now, some birds are unable to fly because they are just too heavy, or their wings are used for something different, like swimming. These birds are able to get around other ways. The ostrich, which can weigh as much as 300 pounds, can run as fast as a horse. And the penguin is a graceful swimmer and spends most of its time in the water. This hawk is preparing for its landing. Legs out, wings up. Now, insects are the most common flyer. And it's believed that there are more than a million different kinds of flying insects. The honeybee, like most insects, has 2 pairs of wings. And when the wasp begins to fly, its wings move down and forward like a bird's do to create lift. And then as the wasp rises up, they use the next stroke, however, they twist upside down, and this provides lift that is both upstroke and downstroke. Interesting. Now, when the butterfly is resting, it holds its wings upright and together. When it's ready to sail off, it rapidly pulls its wings down and apart. This creates suction that pulls the butterfly straight up into the air. The ladybug, like all beetles, has a pair of front wings that are hardened and protective, and it covers the body. When the ladybug flies, it swings these hardened wings outward and forward and beats its back wings. The front wings don't flap, but they do provide lift once the ladybug is moving. Bats are special. They are the only mammals that can fly. Bats' wings are supported by 4 very long fingers. These flexible fingers and thin skin stretched over them allow the bat to twist its wings in almost any shape, making it possible for the bat to change direction quickly and gracefully. Flying squirrels, flying fish, and flying frogs can't really fly. Cool name, but they actually glide. Most gliders travel from 50 to 150 feet in the air. The flying fish holds the animal gliding record for 1/4 of a mile. That's almost 1,300 feet in the air. The flying frog uses skin stretched between its toes to glide from tree to tree. Like other gliders, it doesn't have wings, so it's unable to create enough lift to overcome gravity, so it's not a true flyer. but gliding would still be pretty cool. The largest and the smallest flyers in the world. Now, the albatross is the largest wings, and it uses it to soar over the ocean for days at a time without ever having to land. The fairy fly is 1/125th of an inch long, and it is the smallest flying insect. The bumblebee bat is the world's tiniest bat and has a wingspan of just 6 inches and weighs less than a penny. The bee hummingbird is the smallest bird, and its body weight is less than 3.5 inches long, and its wings measure only 6 inches across. Now for the largest. The largest flying insect is the Queen Alexandra birdwing butterfly, and it measures 12.5 inches across from wingtip to wingtip. Now, the Indian flying fox, with its wings 6 feet across, is the largest bat in the world. 6 feet across. Oh my goodness. The albatross has a wingspan of up to 12 feet, and this is the largest of any bird on Earth. Fastest, farthest, highest. These are the world record flight holders. The horsefly can reach speeds of 30 miles per hour, making it the fastest insect and the hardest to hit when it bites you. A spotted whopper swan holds the record for the highest altitude of flying. It has been seen flying at over 27,000 feet in the air. It's the same height planes can travel. The fastest bat and the biggest brown bat can fly at 40 miles per hour. The monarch butterfly migrates from the Great Lakes to Mexico every fall, a distance of over 2,000 miles. And the Arctic term life flies a round-trip distance of 25,000 miles every year as it migrates from the Arctic to the Antarctic and back, from the North to the South Pole every year. And the spine-tailed swift is the fastest bird at level flight, not in a dive, and it can reach speeds of 112 miles per hour for short flights. Now, inspired by animals, humans have dreamed of flight for centuries. Hundreds and hundreds of years we've wanted to do it. Now, an early unsuccessful flying machine was unlike the birds. The humans would attach their body, but they're not meant to fly. Now, this man would be an average weight. He would need wings about 140 feet across to fly successfully, and even the strongest man would not be able to flap wings so large. Now, this is a picture of a helicopter. It's kind of hard to see, but this helicopter was designed to be ridden like a bike in the 1800s. Now, it didn't work, and this was because it was very difficult for the human to generate enough power to lift his body into the air. So the first humans that were able to fly were actually in balloons. In the 1903, the Wright brothers piloted the first working airplane and traveled it just 125 feet. Now, modern passenger jet flies at speeds of more than 500 miles per hour, with the fastest plane in the world, take a peek at that cool looking one, being the SR-1 Blackbird spy plane. And it was built by the United States in 1961 and can fly 3 times the speed of sound. It's over 2,000 miles an hour. Fast. Now, flying is fun, and our story is over.